Over the years, there have been an incredibly large amount of hoaxes in the Five Nights at Freddy's community. There are some that are so well known and so beloved that at this point they just might have actually been in the game themselves. But then you have the obscure ones, characters so unbeknownst to the general public they have fallen down to the bottom of the iceberg. So join me today as we uncover the history of Five Nights at Freddy's hoaxes and lies. FNaF 1 gave us some of the most important hoaxes in the series. Yes, there were not many, but it was the foundation that needed to be laid out so it could flourish into what it's become today. Some liked the hoaxes, some do not. Me personally, I think they're a cool way to introduce fan characters and ideas into the series. But enough of what I think. Let's get right into it with the first ever Five Nights at Freddy's hoax. Sparky the dog is one of, if not the most well-known hoax characters. He is so beloved by the community he actually appeared in official Five Nights at Freddy's media, this obviously being the FNaF movie. He's also the only hoax character to ever do this, other than Withered Balloon Boy, but we'll get into that later. He appeared as a spare suit, and also the restaurant was named after him most likely. Sparky is known as being the first hoax to ever be publicly released. The original idea came from a post on Tumblr, in which a user claimed that there was a hidden sixth animatronic in the game. Unfortunately, the post has now lost media and can no longer be found. He was described as wearing overalls, having a destroyed arm, and missing one of his eyes. It was reported that he would occasionally appear peeking out of the backstage doorway. This was later confirmed to be nothing but a hoax, and the original poster said that all the screenshots were just simply made in Photoshop. A much more obscure and lesser-known hoax began to spread around 2014. It was said by a user on Tumblr that if you typed 0/6/6/6 into the custom night menu, the kitchen camera would no longer be blacked out. Some believed that Golden Freddy was actually in the kitchen of the entire span of the game, which only made this that much more believable. This was later disproven when data miners discovered there is no image file whatsoever for the kitchen camera in the files of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, or any game for that matter. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 actually spawned a lot of hoaxes. I'm not joking around here, it's an unbelievable amount. And while I probably wouldn't be able to cover every single one in this video, as it could be hours long, I am going to cover a pretty large amount. So let's not waste any more time here because we have a lot to uncover. So let's uncover these falsehoods that weirdly united the community during their time. Toy Golden Freddy was a hoax that began to spread around the time of Five Nights at Freddy's 2's release. There are surprisingly a few different versions of him that people believed were in the game at the time. There was the most well-known one, which is a recolor of Toy Freddy with dark, empty eye sockets, a black bow tie and top hat, as well as orange cheeks instead of red. There's a second variant, which is exactly the same as the previously mentioned design, only with purple accents instead of black. And the third most popular variant consisted of a much darker yellow, almost orange, which really isn't that far off from normal Toy Freddy's design if we're being completely honest here. He was actually thought to be an Easter egg for quite a while, before it was later revealed to be nothing but a hoax. Reportedly, he could be summoned in the custom night if you typed in 1987 for Toy Freddy, Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, and Marionette. If you actually attempt this in the game, nothing will happen other than a normal custom night with these character settings. When it was still believed to be a rare appearance, fans theorized he was some kind of variant of Fredbear, or a kind of Springlock prototype suit, due to the empty eyes and the statured nature that was similar to other Springlock characters at the time. In November of 2014, not too long after the release of FNaF 2, a YouTube video uploaded by a user going by the name of Roxo1987 began to circulate. The video depicted a secret animatronic that resembles Purple Guy's sprite in the minigames. In the original video, the phone rang and the Purple Guy animatronic flashed onto the screen for a few seconds. This was most likely due to many people theorizing at the time that Purple Guy and Phone Guy were the exact same character. His mannerisms are very similar to Golden Freddy and Shadow Freddy, and his model appears to be an edited version of Shadow Freddy, actually. I'll show you the original video now. If you weren't able to catch it, he appears on the left side of the screen for maybe half a second before disappearing just as quickly. The same creator claimed the Purple Man animatronic actually appeared in both FNaF 1 and 3, as well as FNaF 2, with different character models each time. These were all most likely made by him. The FNaF 1 variant was the same as the one we had already seen in FNaF 2, but the FNaF 3 variant looked to be a heavily edited and recolored Springtrap model. He was missing his snout as well as his ears and had more of like a carved smile on it instead of, having a mouth. Imagine if the character actually was in the game. That would make the lore like 1,000 times more complicated than it already is. Anyway, it was obviously later confirmed by the creator to be nothing but a fake, and the purple guy was just photoshopped onto normal FNaF 2 gameplay. In January of 2015, a video was uploaded to YouTube by a user named Zombie Wars SME, claiming there was a supposed secret Shadow Balloon Boy animatronic in the mobile version of FNaF 2. The animatronic in question was a completely blacked out version of Balloon Boy's silhouette. He had empty white eyes, glowing white teeth, and glowing white buttons on his shirt, obviously taking some inspiration from the Shadow Bonnie character that does actually appear in the game on rare occasions. The video was attempting to spread the rumor. It's not super long, but to summarize it, they attempted to convince the viewer with a doctored screenshot of the office and a shadow BB that was placed in the left corner. The video was later proven to be completely untrue, similarly to how the data miners proved Cam 666 to be untrue. Withered Balloon Boy was said to be an Easter egg character that, on rare occasions, could randomly appear in your office instead of regular Balloon Boy. The edit looked very obviously fake from the start, so I doubt many people believed this other than children when it actually came out. The character did actually appear in official FNaF merch as a keychain character, of all things. The company that made him is known as Bag Tag, and its design is very obviously based off of stolen fan art, which is, it's not new in the FNaF community, but, when official companies do it, it's just so much worse than when knockoff brands do it. Everything about FNaF 3 was underwhelming and did not meet fans' expectations at all. This includes the hoaxes. There were barely any at the time, and the ones that we did get were either unbelievable, lazy, or, just plain silly. When Five Nights at Freddy's 3 released, people noticed there was absolutely no trace of Bonnie, other than a few props placed around the location. Some believe Springtrap was actually Phantom Bonnie before it was revealed he was Afton. This opened the perfect opportunity for someone to spread a new hoax, which hadn't been done in a while. It was said that Phantom Bonnie could be found in the code of FNaF 3, and on rare occasions could show up in your office, but this was later debunked and shown to be a falsehood, as nowhere in the code is there any mention of any Phantom Bonnies. Phantom Bonnie actually had two variants that fans claimed appeared in the game. The first appearance, and the most well-known variant, is mostly just Withered Bonnie with his face back and some extra withering, as well as a quick retexture. The second variant is, I kid you not, literally just recolored FNaF 1 Bonnie. There is no differences between him and the other in-game model. It wasn't widely believed that Phantom Bonnie was in the game, and when it was confirmed to be a hoax, not many were actually that surprised. In 2015, the YouTuber Jimbathy uploaded a video to the site. In the video, Jimbathy shows viewers an apparent series of tasks the player must complete in order to unlock a jump scare from the supposed Chrome Freddy. Please be warned, if you attempt this, you will only be wasting your time, as this has been proven countless times to be a hoax. The list goes as follows. Start a new game of FNaF 3. Mute the call from phone guy. Once the timer reaches 2 AM, go to the cameras and select Cam 7, Cam 6, Cam 6, and Cam 5. Close the cameras and reboot your system. After rebooting is finished, close the vents to your right and press the escape button. Start a whole new game again, progress into night 2, mute the call from phone guy, open your cameras and go to cam 7, press the buttons on your keyboard in the following order: up, left, down, left, right, up, down, right. This will activate a Mangle's Quest minigame. Get all of Mangle's parts and get caught by one of the characters running around. This should restart the night. Once again, mute the call from phone guy. Get jump scared by one of the phantom animatronics. Once you get jump scared, reboot everything. After you're done rebooting, press the escape key. Progress to night 4, muting every single call from phone guy. Go to the cameras and click on cam 6 3 times, then use the audio play button. Press escape again, then load your game. After playing around with the cameras, Chrome Freddy should eventually jump scare the player. Chrome Freddy's appearance consists of what looks like a moldy and rusted version of the FNaF 1 Freddy. He also appears to be missing his top hat, which just looks so cursed. I'm gonna be completely honest, bald Freddy is terrifying. Nonetheless, it's an incredibly long list of useless tasks, and it's just a wild goose chase. I do feel genuinely sorry for everyone who actually attempted this, only to be disappointed in the end. It's a fun concept though, and definitely seems like something Scott would do to an extent, which is probably why it was so believable at the time. FNaF 4 didn't really give us that many hoaxes. There were many rumors circulating before the game released and well into the game's release, but as far as actual secret characters or animatronics, the list is quite small, and there really isn't that much background on the characters themselves. Nightmare JJ is a recolored version of Nightmare Balloon Boy. She was reported to be a secret Easter egg by the YouTuber GoMotion100, now today called GoMotion. He claimed that she could be found in the FNaF 4 Balloon Boy minigame as a rare replacement for the regular Nightmare BB who normally shows up here. Eventually, a Redditor found this claim to be false, and everyone kind of forgot about her. Rest in peace, Nightmare JJ, another hoax that's fallen into the depths of obscurity. You will be missed. At the height of its popularity, Five Nights at Freddy's definitely had some strange hoaxes, but this one has to be the most bizarre of all of them. There was a huge rumor being spread around 2016 that there was an actual Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location you could go and visit. There was a bunch of obviously fake pictures of the location and even a Yelp page with real reviews and customer photos, which has now unfortunately been taken down. Someone even posted the address where they claimed the location was running. A YouTuber, who goes by Bill's channel, actually debunked this by driving to the address, obviously to find nothing but a normal strip mall. This was obviously just all fan-created content, and there is sadly no Real Pizzeria. There was, however, a place called Freddy's Pizzeria in New Jersey. CBS actually did a report on them, and they got a shit ton of phone calls they got daily. The establishment was apparently bombarded with calls every single day, every hour, from children asking if the place was the real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It got so bad that Scott actually released a statement saying, and I quote, "Please do not call any phone numbers you think may be associated with the game. There are no phone numbers associated with the game or marketing. All locations are fictional." After the statement was put out, many were deterred and the phone calls stopped, as well as the beliefs of an actual location existing in the real world. So here I wanted to talk about some rumors and or characters that were interesting, but the backstory behind them just wasn't long enough, or they weren't well-known characters, and it just wouldn't make sense to give them a whole segment. So, without further ado, here are some honorable mentions. Haunted plushies. A user on Tumblr claimed that if you collected every desk plush in FNaF 2 on rare occasions and only for a split second, they would have the infamous silver eyes. Another user claimed this would also happen in the prize corner camera. This was proven false later on. The Grey Puppet. The Grey Puppet was actually created by the same person who made the Purple Guy animatronic, Roxo 1987. He claimed this version of the puppet could appear on the right side of your office on rare occasions as an Easter egg. This was an obvious lie. Puppet TV screens. There was a rumor going around when FNaF 2 hype started that sometimes the puppet's face would appear on the TV monitors in the office. While this seems cool and definitely would be a fun Easter egg, the game's code has nothing of the sort, so obviously this is not true. Sugar the Cat. Sugar's story is actually pretty crazy, and it's the reason we have Five Nights at Candy's. In 2015, Emil Mako posted some fan art of their OC on DeviantArt. a dark blue cat animatronic with a white mouth and what looked like a recolor of Toy Bonnie's body. A game dev blatantly ripped Candy's character and poorly cropped its head over Toy Bonnie's body in their game The Return to Freddy's, and gave no credit whatsoever to Emil. Emil Mako became so enraged by this that they made their own fan game out of spite, and that's what we now know today as Five Nights at Candy's, an official fanverse project. Salvage and the Wither Toys. That sounds like a heavy metal rock band. Anyway, Salvage was a render that was made from the original FNaF 3 teaser. The image was mirrored and gave us what many people call Fred Trap. Many theorized he was going to be a sort of amalgamation of different animatronics fused together. It was also rumored that each night he was going to be putting the destroyed toy animatronics back together, which is where the Wither Toy hoax came from as well. Emerald Freddy. Emerald Freddy is a much creepier version of Golden Freddy who works exactly the same. It was reported he would crash your game if he appeared in your office, like Golden Freddy. The only difference is there is no known summoning method. It was made to seem as though it was a random event or Easter egg. Golden Balloon Boy. The Golden Balloon Boy hoax is actually our most recent hoax, occurring on April 1st of 2024, April Fool's Day. It was created by more than one person, weirdly. These people being Galvin Ganiwicha, I'm sorry if I butchered that, Johnny the Night Guard, Attic Partiers, and Pogo's Pizzeria. It was an April Fool's joke that was actually believed, and the previously mentioned YouTubers claimed you could get a mini Golden Balloon Boy statue on your desk if you completed the 10-20 mode in the custom night 10 times. Obviously, this would not actually happen. The only thing you could get for completing 10-20 mode 10 consecutive times is bragging rights. Flip Trap. Flip Trap is a much more recent hoax as well, appearing around the security breach hype. He was a leaked teaser and supposed to be the next form of Glitch Trap. He existed in both the real world and the flip side world as well at the same time. One of his arms was actually the Nightmare arm that appeared in one of the official security breach teasers, now belonging to Burn Trap. It was later revealed to be a fake leak to many fans' disappointment. Honestly, I would have preferred this over Burn Trap. While Burn Trap's a cool character, he's just so overdone, and Flip Trap is just a much cooler concept. It would have been amazing. And finally, we have Shadow Bonnie in Ruin. Back when Ruin first released, Markiplier recorded a playthrough of the game, and while walking through the Ruin Pizzaplex, he turned to look at a static television. And only for a split second, Shadow Bonnie could be seen on the screen. It was later revealed this was just edited in as a joke. Well, that was quite the list, wasn't it? It really is insane how many hoaxes this community has stirred up compared to, other communities. You don't see like Cuphead or Bendy community with characters like Shadow Nightmare Balloon Boy. Yes, that was a real character that someone dreamed up. But honestly, I'm here for it. Besides the lying aspect, it introduces cool fan concepts that would have otherwise never been explored. The sheer amount of them is insane. I know for sure that the hoaxes were mentioned in this video are just the majority. I guarantee you there are hundreds more that have just become lost media or are far too obscure for anybody to remember. Well, all I have left to say now is thank you for joining me today on our deep dive into the history of Five Nights at Freddy's hoaxes, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good rest of your day /night/evening, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.